everyone, my name is Xenia and today I'm talking about wrestling figures that I'm ashamed to have. I just hope you guys realize that this is mostly about the things that have happened after I bought these figures. No shade to the figures themselves by any means. I'm just going to give you a rundown of figures that I'm kind of ashamed to own at this point and that I don't really put on the front of my figure shelf. And I have decided to do it in somewhat of a top 5 fashion, but I don't feel like the order is that important. However, if there's a particular reason that I've put a particular figure at a particular number, I will tell you. So let's dive into the deep dark corners of my wrestling figure collection. First figure that I'd like to talk about is my Aries figure. This is a NXT TakeOver Elite. Again, a great figure. The cape, removable, the tattoo, the face scan is also pretty great if you ask me. But if you are on Twitter at least sometimes, you would know why I'm ashamed of that. Because Aries is a controversial person, and between tweeting very aggressive and very distasteful things about vegans versus meat eaters and no selling things as a form of protest, which is again bad taste, it's not someone you would want to represent. And it's always hard to dislike a wrestler who is not a great person but a great wrestler. But I feel like there are limits to everything, and when a person crosses certain limits, it's done. And I don't feel like dumb tweets are the limit here for me. However, I feel like the respect of the etiquette of the industry is important. So when a person starts to disrespect that, I can't give them my support anymore. But I feel like he hasn't done something as drastic as the other people I'm going to talk about in this video. That's why I put him at what would be number 5, right? The next figure that I'd like to talk about is this James Ellsworth Elite. It's Elite 55, it's a fairly newer one out of these ones, but it's also fairly new information that he's a creep. I mean, sure, some could have guessed, some could have had their assumptions, but now we know for a fact that he creeps on underage girls. It's nobody's fault that it's a great figure. Shame on me in particular, because I don't even have it like tucked away to the back of my figure shelf like I do the rest of these. It's like somewhere on the front line because it's just such a good figure. And it really is the question of where you kind of draw the line, because I've already bought it. What changes if I hide it, if I tuck it away? But also on the other hand, if we're talking about supporting victims, if we're talking about not condoning predators, then where do we stand with wrestling figures then? I really don't have answers to these questions because it does bother me as well, and I am not sure where I stand with that. As a woman, as a feminist, as someone who was a wrestling fan while I was underage. So yeah, we're getting quite deep on this topic, but yeah, another figure that I'm kind of ashamed of. The next figure, well, figures that I want to talk about are these Enzo and Cass figures. It's Battle Pack 40. Do I really need to tell you why I'm ashamed of these? We've all seen what Enzo has been doing, from rape accusations to turning these rape accusations into a whole entire joke, into mocking the victim. It's been a whole crap show. Cass has his sins as well. He's been accused of domestic violence as far as I'm concerned, and also as far as I'm concerned, his political views could be better. And again, these are such great figures. I, to this day, really like these. And I don't remember if they came with the microphones, and I feel like they did not because these are NXT microphones. But yeah, back when they just started their tag team run on the main roster, I was a fan. I didn't know they were like that back then, and I have 2 shirts of theirs. And I was so happy that I got to like repeat their catchphrase after them at a live event. And I really don't know how to feel right now. I feel like I wasn't a fan of the people, I was a fan of the gimmick. But Enzo kind of is his gimmick. So yeah, that's another tricky one. And I've talked about having those shirts to some of my friends, and they're like throwing them away, cutting them up, and like washing the floors with them. And I can't bring myself to do that because it's WWE merch, it's something that designers worked on. I don't know what kind of statement I'll be making if I destroy them. I mean, sure, I could film that and I could make like a scandalous video out of that, but do they really deserve to get even more coverage? So yeah, there's that. The next figure is this Adam Rose Elite 38. And it's a fun figure. It has so many accessories and the glasses and the top hat. And I mean, Adam Rose was a great character, a great gimmick, and with rosebuds and all, it was fun. And this gimmick still somewhat is alive in No Way Jose. And also, fun fact, I think Adam Rose was the second South African ever signed to WWE, the first one being PJ Black, Jesse Gabriel. I could be messing up the dates, but yeah, these two were the pioneers in a sense. But yeah, again, not a lawyer, but Adam Rose was accused of domestic violence and all kinds of nasty stuff. WWE fired him immediately after these accusations surfaced. But yeah, I bought these Elite before I knew that, and it's somewhere like in the back of my shelf always, because it is a fun figure, but I don't really want to support this guy. And now the first place, and there is a reason that I put it on the first place, because it might be the one that I'm the most embarrassed about, and that's because I have two Adam Rose figures. This one is a part of a battle pack 38, and the reason why I put it on the first place is because if the previous one I bought before I knew that, this one I bought very recently. I bought it in November 2018. And I know there's no way I could possibly justify that, but it's a part of a battle pack that includes the bunny. And I've already talked about this battle pack in my Las Vegas fight shop haul actually. And I feel like the bunny is such a fun thing, such a fun figure, such a gem to have in your collection, and there was no way that I could not buy this battle pack. So I guess the embarrassment of this really is that it proves that I compromise my beliefs for a somewhat fun wrestling figure. So yeah, this is all for today. Do you have anything that you're embarrassed of in your collection? Tell me down in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. Give this video a like if you had a good time. Subscribe and find me on my social media. I will put the links down below. I'm at XeniaDidThat on almost any platform. Goodbye.